Hi, and welcome back to the Rolling Hills Soul Care Podcast. My name is Jazzy, and I'm here with Chuck. How are you today, Chuck?
Hi, Jazzy. Thanks for having me back here.
Thanks for having you back. We just meet up and have a great time recording this podcast.
we do. What would we do with our time if we were, weren't meeting? Doing that? Yeah.
The possibilities are endless. That does bring to mind one of our congregants asked me to ask you a question.
Not another question.
Another question. We're just going to make this the new thing. Send in your questions for Chuck. This congregant would like to know, one of our youngest, sweetest, most adorable congregants would like to know, what was the most exciting thing that happened to you this week?
This week. Exciting things. But we watch our grandkids 3 days a week.
Oh, you're going to have to start ranking exciting things then, if that's how that goes.
So, a 5-year-old, 3-year-old, and spending time with them. I retired coming up on 5 years ago in a few weeks. And
nice.
a big part of the reason I did it was to be able to spend more time with family and especially invest in the lives of my grandkids.
Oh, I love that.
So it is exciting. It's just neat to spend time with them and watch them grow and especially build a relationship with them. So,
aw, that warms my heart. It can be done.
It can be done.
I love picturing that going on this week. Thanks, Chuck. Okay, we will hop back into blog reading. This blog post you called Let Your Light Shine. Mm-hmm. Blog post number 103?
Yep, this is what I wrote. Like many other people, I enjoy fall colors, but the brilliant colors of the leaves look so much more vibrant in the sunshine than they do when it's raining. I also enjoy taking walks on bright sunny days more than I do on cloudy, rainy days. But God has a funny way of teaching me and shifting my perspective if I allow Him time to break through my simple surface prayers when I walk and talk with Him. I often pray when I walk, and one of those walks occurred on a day that had followed a couple of weeks of solid clouds and rainy weather. As I walked and prayed, I was thanking God for the sun when He reminded me it is always there, just like He is always with me. There are times when I can't see it through the clouds, just like I sometimes can't see God through all the distractions of this life. Sometimes I allow things to weigh on me until it feels almost as dark as night. But God whispered a reminder that even at night the sun is still there, and our moon serves as a reminder and a reflection of that truth. During times when I can't see the sun or feel its warmth, it's still right there where it should be, just as God is always with me. He is there in dark circumstances. He is there when I can't feel His warmth. He is there whether I can sense it or not. He is always with me. It's really great to feel the warmth of His presence on those sunny days, but I need to deepen my faith and acknowledge His presence even more so when the rainy season seems to dominate things. Today, God used the sunshine to teach me another lesson. I was walking and admiring some of the many beautiful fall colors, and I thought to myself, these trees look so much more beautiful today than they did earlier this week in the rain. But that's when God kind of nudged me with His elbow and said something like, they're no more beautiful today than they were 2 days ago. They're just reflecting the light of the sun in a different way. And in that way, God used these trees as an object lesson for my life with others. Am I walking around with my own private storm cloud hovering over me? Or am I allowing my life to reflect the light of the sun, S-O-N, so others can see His glory and grace? Just as the sun is always right where it should be, so is the sun, S-O-N. It may feel dark, but His radiance and His closeness to us has not changed one bit. And while some days may look dreary, He gives me the opportunity every day to choose my attitude and my perspective so I can allow His light to shine through me in such a way that I might be able to allow others to see His love and His glory. And I close with a prayer. Dear God, thank You for reminding me that You are always with me. Help me to rely on Your love, Your light, Your glory, and Your power every day whether or not I feel it or see it, and help me to be a reflection of your light in this dark world. And then I closed with Matthew 5:16. Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven.
Chuck, I really appreciated this blog, partly because I just needed to hear it. I mean, we're sitting here on one of the gloomiest, rainiest days we've ever had. You can probably even hear the rain. I don't know. We can hear it on the window. Don't know if you can hear it in the microphones or not. But the first thing that I said this morning when I woke up was, ugh, so gross. And just, forgetting that this is just a different way of seeing things. I've thought the exact same thing that you did. Looked at those trees and been like, oh, it was so much better yesterday. But they're exactly the same. And it is merely my attitude that changed.
Yeah. It's attitude. I mean, they do. There is I like taking pictures. Obviously, taking pictures of trees in the fall with light creates a much more vivid image. But the tree didn't change.
Tree's just doing its tree thing.
Yep. So, again, I write these to myself. This one was probably more personal. It was God just kind of correcting me because I caught myself just out on a walk and thinking things like, oh, the sun is out. Oh, thank you for the sun, as if it just suddenly appeared out of nowhere. And even on a day like today, where it's cloudy and
it's there.
If you were to say, I can't see the sun, that's true. It's obscured by the clouds. But if you were to, I don't know how tall the cloud base is, but if you could get above it, that's where the sun is. It's right there.
Right.
And it's always there.
It's like you said, the sun is still creating this light that we see. It's still daylight out. Even at night when it's on the other side, we're seeing that reflection of it. And that's another thing that's, slightly convicting to me. It is always there, and we are always part of that reflection. Like that's what objects do, right? They reflect whatever light they have. Yeah. And so am I thinking about what kind of reflection I am being and putting out into the world? Because that's always going to be there. People are always going to be seeing me. And I hate the idea of, oh no, what if someone's looking at me and they just see this really dull, boring, not bright, shiny, and I'm sending someone away from finding some better light of God.
Often, those are good things to remember. I think people do take note of our temperament, and it was always surprising to me. I retired 5 years ago, but when I was working, I didn't try to wear a face that said, I'm troubled about something, worried about something, or but inevitably, my staff would pick up on.
They would show.
Yeah, and that wasn't a badge of honor. When they would ask me those types of questions, that was revealing to me. Oh, you're allowing circumstances to change your appearance. People notice that you're bothered, and that's when I think about who Jesus is calling me to be. That's not it. So how do I live above my circumstances? It does not mean fake.
Yeah, he's not calling you to be inauthentic. But
because there are times. Jesus wept.
Certainly.
So you don't hear me say that's, but how do I rise above those circumstances, so to speak, and be the reflection of him that I want to be? So.
Kind of goes back to what we were talking about with our last blog, with the idea of our circumstances being above our condition, or the other way around. Sorry, our condition being above our circumstances.
Yeah. Right.
And just remembering that, not that we need to make lies or convince people that everything's always A-okay, but just knowing where our light comes from.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's alive in us. If we allow his love and his life to shine through us, we really can radiate. And I think we all know people who they just have a way of they radiate joy. As I said that, I had a person just last week. I will speak her name because I'm speaking of it in a very positive way. Joy Haley. Someone said,
"Joy radiates joy." Sorry, I interrupted you.
Joy is aptly named, and they said, "I have never seen that woman not be joyful." Now, is that a 100% true statement? No, I'm sure Joy has moments where she's not feeling joyful, but her outward display is one of joy, and I think that's in part because she chooses to do it, but it's mostly because that's who's inside of her that she's allowing.
Yes, she knows where her help comes from.
Yep.
We're speaking for Joy now, but
yeah, we are.
I'm agreeing with you. You also said if we allow God to come into our lives, and that feels like another conversation entirely. So we'll get to that post eventually if we allow God in to radiate through us.
I mean, there's powerful words when you really think about it. Jesus says, "I stand at the door and knock." This is the God, all-powerful God of the universe, who I don't think doors are exactly an obstacle to him. He was able, and this is a God who can do anything, and yet he is standing at the door of our hearts, knocking and waiting for us to respond. He leaves that choice to us. That's humbling and scary.
Very.
That there he is. He's right there. He's making it to all. He's making that invitation to all, but he's leaving the choice for each of us. And that's true of his salvation message, but it's also true of how much are you going to invite me into your life today?
Yeah, that daily light and walk.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, I say this all the time, but so much to think about. So, thank you so much for sharing, Chuck. If you would like to hear more, always you can go and subscribe to this RH Church feed. That's where you'll find previous podcasts and our Sunday teachings. You can also find the physical blog posts. Wait, I said physical, but they're completely virtual because that's what the internet is. If you want to go read these blog posts, you can go to rollinghills.org/worship, or you can always find those links through the RH Worship Instagram feed. Thank you again, Chuck. I'm going to go laugh at myself for not being able to speak full sentences as we record these blogs.
Thank you, Josh.
All right. Have a great week.